Hey, all right. So this is Nasty
This is
Neal.
Steve.
This is Steve. So when's he?
And this is Lunadet. Speed?
Swede.
I like that better.
right.
Lunadet Speed
Mhm.
from Arbor Day.
Yeah, the upcoming Arbor Day film from Without Your Head Productions.
It's very exciting, very exciting. So Steve and I, this past evening, went out for our traditional annual holiday of Halloween 12-hour
12 hours.
movie marathon
Yeah. Midnight
at Coolidge.
till noon the next
Midnight till
day.
noon. Yeah, and it was amazing, as always. It's 23rd year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's very crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm very happy that that continues to be a thing.
Yeah, from the time we've been going, when we first started going, I would say less than half of the people would be there by the end. But now I'd say the majority of the people.
Definitely.
Which is cool, because it used to be you'd get a pin saying you survived the marathon if you were cool enough to stay there all the time. Hey, here's Anthony. How are you guys doing? We're doing good, Anthony.
Nice to see you, Anthony. Thank you for asking.
I'm up to 2006 in my memoirs. Sweet.
2006.
He's writing his memoirs.
Oh my lord! I can't even imagine writing memoirs. Good for you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Coolidge. Coolidge.
The midnight.
23rd year, and you were saying that it's it's really amazing how it did almost sell out, and maybe by the time the people in their seats paid, they did sell out.
Right. Yeah, place was really packed, and the majority of the people stayed there to the end.
Yeah, and it's a lot. I think Mark said that it was. If he said there were 300 people at the end, it must be a much larger theater than that. I can't gauge that. But at any rate, it's this huge amount of people. And I think what's happened is that there is the younger generation is catching on to what us elder horror.
Yeah, there's a few things going on.
Middle-aged horror.
Yeah, there's a few things going on. Horror has definitely risen in popularity. Besides the big, honestly, a lot of the big Marvel movies are kind of waning, but these horror movies right now are doing really well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you've got that. And then I think the idea of, because there for a while people are saying the theaters are dead, but I don't really see that. I see a lot more people in theaters. Boston, I know, but still, same way, it's great either way.
Yes.
You get horror stuff, people coming out. And, and it's not, for a lot of the younger people, all of it would have been older. Because the two headliners, 1930.
It's almost 100 years old.
Yeah, Invisible Man, and then the remake of The Fly, but even that's from the 80s. The David Cronenberg Fly. So both these are, older movies to these folks.
Yes, absolutely. So the youth of the day, the hell with them. Let's skip over the youth for now, because we were there. We're not the youth.
Right.
You were not the youth compared to them.
No. So Invisible Man's one of my all-time favorites.
Yes, so headliners, Neal was saying, before we get too far down the path, we've got the opener of Invisible Man.
So for people know that they always do a theme.
Oh, that's right.
And so, different times we went, they did an alien horror theme. What was last year?
I don't think last year was monsters.
No, he actually told us he was going to do monsters.
Is there a werewolf year? I feel like there was a werewolf.
I think there was, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend vampire.
You said space stuff.
Yeah, space.
There's been, what the hell?
I think Ghost? Ghost House, maybe. A haunted house.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, there's a ghost one, because remember or haunting things, because we had that crazy movie where the prison's haunted. Right. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I think there's slashers. There was sequels, I think, one time.
That's right, because it was Halloween too.
Yeah, so when we talked to Mark last year, he actually was going to do a Monsters this time, headlined by Godzilla and something. But it ended up being Mad Scientist, which and they worded it Mad Scientist and not dastardly doctors, but demented doctors or something like that. So.
Both of those are good.
Yeah.
So we've got those two. What came after that? The Frankenstein one? Frankenstein?
Yes, it was Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed.
Must Be Destroyed. That's
Hammer
right.
film.
The Hammer one with Peter Cushing, Vincent Price. as Abominable Dr. Vibes.
Yeah, some of my
now I'm listening
films.
out of order because I don't think we'll remember.
Yeah, it was. I think after the Hammer one, they did Dr. Giggles because they wanted like a faster paced film.
Yeah, to perk us up.
Yeah.
But he said Mark's the program director, and he's so funny. He introduces everything. He's a cool guy. And he'd said to us that, we got to like change up the pace. I think they noticed that there were many snoozing people.
Yes.
Myself
Myself
often being one of them.
Yeah, and I normally don't really. I normally stay up for almost all of it.
It's dry. It's not bad. It's dry.
Yes. Well, we'll start with Invisible Man, one of my all-time favorite films.
Oh yeah, it's top,
great.
Top.
Everything about it, the comedy really works. A great mad scientist, a great villain.
Yeah,
he's charismatic. He's
and
also like straight up
story,
evil. Yeah,
because he was trying to do the right thing. He had the love of his life. He was a poor chemist, and he wanted to do the thing that would give them the life he wanted to provide her. And it just took off, and it's this very well-intentioned, lovely man.
some of the best villagers in Universal Monster history. Funny. All of them have their own character. All of them have a lot of a character. Yeah, I love the woman.
Yeah, I need to learn the name of that actress because she's in more than one.
She's in a lot of. Yeah, she's great.
And she's an older woman. If you've seen it, you would know in a heartbeat. She has the best faces. Do your best face. The reaction face.
Yeah,
you gotta take off the glasses for that. You know when he's like super rude and she's like, "It's the Invisible Man."
Scream's fantastic. James Whale should always be mentioned in the great horror directors of all time. Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man. Invisible Man, I think, people know it. I think it's the most underrated of the Universal monsters. It doesn't get the love of a lot of the other ones, and it deserves
it's really my favorite. I love for a film, Frankenstein. I think is the best. Mm-hmm. Frankenstein has got
I think so too.
Such a rich, powerful story about what it is to be a human, what it is to be a monster. And it's really just this beautiful, beautiful. Everybody knows this. That's the reason why Frankenstein has withstood the test of time and been in so many different incarnations of Frankenstein.
Yeah, different eras, different times. You can take the character and put them in different times.
Yeah, and even changing the character, like in what's the Fessenden one?
Depraved.
Yes. Amazing movies. So there's so many of them. So Frankenstein, great. Yeah. Amazing. But Invisible Man, because as I was sitting in the scene, like I kind of blew it because this would have been my year to be gung-ho with the Evil Doctor thing because that's like my jam. That's my villain jam.
Movie. So yeah.
Who's the person that even came up with this idea to begin with?
I know, but you're trying to talk yourself out of it. I was trying to talk yourself back into it.
I thought you were scolding me for having thoughts about missing out on my big chance. But we do have the movie. Check out this great interruption. Check this out. This is a pretty sweet flyer Mr. Neal made. There's this. Oh, I don't know if you can scan this through that, but that'd be pretty awesome if you can.
Right, can. We're in full 1080p.
So we've got the Neil Jones, the Troy Jones, the me. Who else is here?
That's Joe, the filmmaker.
The Joe, not Jones. All the folks. So check out Arbor Day. If you look up Arbor Day movie, you will probably find it because that's what it is. All over the lands, on the Instagram land, on the Without Your Head land.
Yeah, and this QR code at the moment will bring you to the link tree for Arbor Day, which will link you to all the different sites. You can get cool shirt. You can get you can follow us on all the different social media pages, and soon the campaign will be up and running.
Because today is what, the 27th?
Something like that.
Of October.
Right.
It's near the end of October. Yeah. We're Halloween time, and. And so the Kickstarter is going to launch pretty soon. You got to just sort of wrap some things up. I didn't realize there were these goofy ass knuckles on there.
Goofy. I'm battling a tree. I got to prepare. It might be battling you. Use it more to protect me.
I think that's fair. I think it's a good call.
Break my knuckles. So, and then we have The Fly, which for some reason when I was a kid, that's not one of my favorites. I always thought it was like
this is the Cronenberg Fly.
Yeah, I actually really like this.
So
the original Fly, but the Cronenberg Fly. For some reason, as a kid, I was like, "Oh, it's just a gross out movie." It is, but it's a really good movie. Might be my favorite Cronenberg movie because I'm
some
not
of them
huge
are really
on a lot of Cronenberg movies. I think it's those. I think he usually doesn't write characters that well, or like. But I think emotionally,
I'm going to give credit to Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis because it's them. Because I thought that as I'm watching, I'm like, usually Cronenberg movies, they're so dead. Like the human beings, they don't act like people. Mm-hmm. And that's no shade at those actors playing those roles being dead. But I think that Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis both have something that's very like. They do have something very like.
Yeah,
so that's 100%. What gets them into their roles.
Yeah.
And to see them, they've got this great natural chemistry together.
Yeah, they do really.
You really feel for him as this nerd who's made it. He's very successful, but you tell he's at this big science convention. She's a reporter. She's reporting on the science things, and he's attracted to her. He's trying to be like cute and impressive, like, oh, come back to my place, see my cool science thing. And she does, and romance blossoms. But then he, much like Invisible Man, is, I'm going to do this thing. Not in the moment. It's more about.
It is very much like Invisible.
It's motivated by the woman. Really,
I think both of them start out as we don't know if the Invisible Man's like a good guy beforehand, honestly, but it seems like that he probably is.
Well, the people that worked with him liked him.
Yeah, but you don't see him like where you see the Jeff Goldblum character. Yeah. And then
we don't have time to fall in love with Invisible Man.
And so they clearly change when the experiments go wrong.
Yes. Poor Jeff.
Yeah,
Seth.
I thought it was a really
good.
Really good performance, a good character, because even as he's changing, he's still a man of science and is still trying to figure this stuff out, and he's not letting what's happening to him completely drive him mad, even though he's going mad, and he's still trying to do his experiments and research himself. And I thought it was really interesting, and I also think the Gina Davis character, because people talk about strong women in movies. So I think this is a good female character in movie before that was really talked about all the time.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah,
she's very emotional, which is fine because she's in love.
Yeah, but I mean it's not like beating on the head with it.
The end though. Now I don't want to give away any spoilers for this 40-year-old movie, but. There's a guy who's a real shit, an ex-boyfriend of hers. And the end of the movie, spoiler alert, don't watch it for the next minute or two if you don't want to hear it. This really shady dude that's kind of she's working for him, and he's just a creep and always trying to interfere with her and Jeff Goldblum's character, Seth. And at the very, very end, he ends up being kind of like a hero. What's this?
Yeah, it's just something.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. This will pop up.
Yeah.
So at the end, this guy, I don't know his name, he ends up coming into. So Seth Brundle has an apartment. And that's where these big giant pods are, where he has things that are supposed to teleport across time. And he teleported himself. And this is what happened. And then he's at the end trying to get Gina Davis in one pod, himself in another pod, to try to undo his fly, to splice together, and then
undo splicing the fly, not undo his fly.
Yeah. Critical point. Although there's a lot of times where Jeff Goldblum is flyless.
Yeah.
He's out going around in his little undies.
Yeah,
he's a very good-looking guy.
Yeah, I didn't really, because they always make fun of the Jurassic Park when he's all when he's laying. But then I'm like, well, this is what. Yeah, it wasn't. They always make it seem like that's the only time he was supposed to be a sexy guy or something. But he's a sexy guy in this. You know what I'm saying?
Poor dude. People always hating on the stuttering nerd.
Yeah, my mom's calling, but it's probably, well, I'll call her back after. She's probably just wondering.
She's good. Yeah. She's like, where's my Neelio? Where's my Neely? I really think it is funny that you are Neil Lee. So you're Neely.
Yeah, my brother and his friends who are older used to call me Neely when I was a kid, and then they would call me Neely Worm or the Worm.
Like in The Fly.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's a great scene.
Yeah, great scene, dream sequence. I really like the very end of The Fly too, because it's.
Oh wait, pause for a second. So the end is. It's her, it's Seth. They're supposed to converge, and then the scummy guy ends up coming in and is going to save the day. And he ends up, he loses. You got to see it. If you haven't seen it, it's so great. He loses at one hand and one foot in a way that you have to see. You really do have to see it. And so this poor bastard, he's on the floor. You think he's dead, and then the end comes, and then he's gonna like be the hero and try to shoot Brundlefly. And so the ending happens, very tragic, and Gina Davis is alive, and you can imagine Brundlefly is dead, and this other dude is still alive. So this monster, I know it was this guy, this monster who did very wretched things at the end. There she is. The end is here. He's dead. I won't get into that. She's crying. And this poor bastard is like over here. He's like no limb. He tried to move a shotgun, and she doesn't give a fuck. He's just over there, and she's crying about this. I get that, but that poor bastard. If I was him, I'd shoot her.
Yeah, he should be the villain
got lost in the
sequel.
System.
I don't think
she's the villain in the sequel. The poor man.
I mean, he should be like this bitter guy, like getting revenge or something. I don't think.
I don't blame him.
But,
he was bitter before.
I also really like the end of Brundlefly because it's an ode to the original Fly.
Yeah.
It's a newer take on that, which I really like. Great effects too.
It definitely holds up. And I was watching it thinking, like, because we are in the middle age, is what do these youth think of these effects? Because here we are, and a few times throughout the films there were some creature effects, and that were practical effects of that time. And I thought, I wonder how these things hold up, because you've got the Fly when it's really becoming the Fly, and it becomes a creature, and it's like got eyes that twitch and things like that. And I wonder,
to me, it holds up. Yeah, it looks better than a lot of stuff I think today. But
so.
To me, that looks better than the most CG.
I
can tell it's there. But yeah, I don't know. So, we at some point in the night they showed the Fly 2 trailer, which is the sequel to this one. So I don't remember at all. I knew what happened, but I don't remember anything about it. But watching that trailer, I was like, man, they just gave away this whole movie by the looks of it.
See, it's nothing new. Giving away a movie is not a new thing.
Jesus, apparently he turns into looks like the same movie, only about a son.
Yeah, that's okay. I'd watch another one.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
But I mean, they basically tell you exactly what happens, as far as I can tell from the trailer.
Yep, I'd still watch it.
I watch it too. I'm actually curious to watch it.
But you know what happens? Why bother?
Well, I'm gonna see if the effects are cool, but.
No
one ever talks about it, so it must not be too great.
People don't really talk that much about The Fly, unfortunately. So everybody out there, I don't see people like, what's on your top movies?
Yeah, I mean, it's always. Oh, that's not true. It's always there when people talk about the best remakes. It's always The Fly and The Thing.
Yeah, but that's a small list. If you're like, what's one of your favorite horror movies? I'm not seeing a lot of people say The Fly. Not that they don't think it's a good movie. I think people don't think of it.
Right.
Not that they are like, oh, it fucking sucks. I think people just don't think of it.
I still like the Vincent Price Fly. But
who doesn't?
I don't know, most people tried.
Everybody loves it.
So then it was the Hammer horror film, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed.
And Neil has a different feeling about part of this movie than I do. we were talking on the ride over.
Yeah, so I think it's well acted. It looks great and stuff, but I was just freaking bored. I was
It's
like,
long.
Yeah, I thought it was like, this is like 3 hours. Like,
is it actually 3 hours?
No, it's only an hour 40 minutes, or hour 41 minutes. But I was just like, where the hell is the monster?
That's all you wanted was a monster. It's about the doctor. That's the thing, though. I think that's something with the Hammer, Frankenstein stuff, is that they're about him. They're not as much about the monster just exists. It's about Peter Cushing's character.
Yeah, that's why Tarantino
said
as a kid he liked the Hammer Dracula movies better, but as an adult he likes the Hammer Frankenstein movies better because they make the Dr. Frankenstein the villain. But I mean, I do think he's also the villain in the original Frankenstein.
Different.
Yeah.
Like in this one, he's not. I mean, he's really evil.
Yeah, he's just
one, which is something that when we were talking earlier, I was saying, because there's a scene where he forces himself upon a woman. Let's go that way, right? And it's a pretty dramatic scene. Neal wasn't into it, thinking that it was why bother with this.
It's not why bother. To me, like the only reason is to make him. I think it seems out of place in the movie.
I was saying that my thought was that it's kind of like when he was talking about Joker earlier. There's another video earlier with Neal doing a review of Joker. Is the idea of, all right, so people have the people who make this new Joker 2, they know what the world kind of gets a sense of that movie. That there are many people who saw that movie.
Same guy.
That Joker was. Yes, that's true.
Well, I'm just saying it wasn't like someone else made the movie.
I didn't say
when you said the people made, I just wanted to make sure people knew it's the same guy.
It's the same guy, everybody. Yeah. So Joker 2 is made, and the idea is to take the first one, the Joker that's kind of romanticized, and show actually this is the reality of this character. This is this person. Which
I honestly think the first movie does, but I don't think everyone sees that.
That's the point. Yeah. Is that I think afterwards they realized, oh shit, a lot of people didn't get what I was going for. So let me make it really obvious what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
So with the Frankenstein, with Dr. Frankenstein in this, I think that the reason that scene works, especially then, I mean, it's problematic now. It's never going to be a good time to be doing that kind of thing in a film. But to be so jarring, so this character that's been in so many different movies, Peter Cushing in many different movies, to make this guy isn't like the lovable evil. He's not just like, oh, I'm watching this sinister man. Haha. It becomes this place where, oh my God, I can't root for this man anymore. This is a villain, and it's not a cool villain that I can feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
You do your thing. It's like, oh my God, I can't. It's Peter Cushing. First of all, it's like, oh, weird. That's very weird.
Yeah. I agree with all that. I just don't think it really fits in the narrative of the movie. Like it just kind of happens out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Troy made this.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I don't know if y'all can see it.
Double-sided.
It's going to be the pendant that all of the people in the cult, which is really cool because he made it with like a real leaf, it looks like, or maybe a felt leaf. It's very cool.
Yeah, on the other side, he burned into the wood, and that'll also be a perk. You'll be able to get film-used amulets.
Of Arbor amulet. Is he doing this to all of them? It's really nice.
I don't think all of them have a leaf. I think 3 have a leaf.
Pretty sweet. Yeah. So Frankenstein must be destroyed. Very long. I slept.
Yeah, I wasn't really into it, to be honest.
This is why we need.
It's well made.
We were talking last night, maybe, about we had a recent interview on the podcast, and it was a person who does programming for a film festival. I won't throw anyone under the bus. Depending on where this conversation goes, it could be a bus throwing event. that was saying, you've got your feature length, which many feature lengths are two. Now it seems like a 2 is a normal amount of time. 2 hours is like the new normal.
Yeah, everything I was looking is over 2 hours. Even Smile 2 is like 2 hours and 17 minutes.
And so you've got the option as a filmmaker that goes into these festivals, you can make a short, which is usually maybe 20 minutes.
Yes.
That's like
I'd say average is probably 10
or less.
Yeah.
So you've got that option. You can work in this tiny, tiny little chunk of time, or you can do an hour and a half plus. There's no room for that beautiful in-between space.
This. Oh, well, we got Coast here saying he's catching us on a Sunday. And we have Gil Geck.
Gil!
You guys quit being so interesting. I have somewhere to go.
Oh, Gil, you're sweet.
We'll try to board up.
Yes, Gil.
Yeah, Gil Geck's a good man.
So happy to see you.
Yeah, next time we're in LA, we have to go. We've never met him in person.
We got to just go to go.
Yeah.
We have to go with no other reason. Right. There's too many people
just to meet Gil Geck.
So many people to see, including Gil. Oh, my Lord. Where were we? Oh, about festivals. So festivals, problem being that just for filmmakers, not just festival filmmakers, anyone, there is a market. There is absolutely a market for something that's in that 40-minute hour.
Yeah, especially now. So at a festival, there's no real reason not to, because I could see we can't really fit a 3-hour movie or a 4-hour movie, but a 40-minute movie, like you said, that's 2 or 3 feature lengths. I mean, two or 3 of those would make a feature length movie.
Yeah.
So there's no real reason. And then with the rise of the streaming sites, stuff can really be any amount of time because it's just content. Because people watch it at their own leisure. It's not like you have to fill up a half hour or an hour or a 2-hour block like, live TV. I guess there is still live TV, but for these kind of things, they're mostly going to be on streaming. And I know it used to be back then we can't sell a 40-minute Blu-ray, but not everything even gets a physical release. So either you could do that and just fill it up with a bunch of extras, or put a couple 40-minute shorts on one. But if you're just talking about festivals and streaming, I don't see what, honestly, could be any amount of time. Besides, I could see the festival not being like I said, like a 3 or 4 hour thing.
Yeah.
But a shorter than a feature, I don't really understand what would the negative be.
Well, that was the thing, is talking with this person who runs a festival, who's lovely, and it seemed kind of like the picture painted was that there isn't room, and it's just, at any rate, I will keep my fingers crossed, cross my heart, cross my fingers. I can't cross my toes. Maybe if my shoes weren't on, I could physically manually force them to be crossed.
Super glue.
Yeah. Because what good is crossed if you can't uncross? You got to make that action. I'm not crossing my fingers for everything. I'm not crossing my toes for everything. There's got to be special moments.
You'd have good luck all the time.
I need the help. So maybe I should break out this.
Yeah. Don't follow Steve's advice here, people.
What? I'm liking the song. I don't know if the people can hear it.
Coast, come to California, Gavin Newsom just cleaned up the joint. It's almost brand new.
Where? Oh.
Cali.
What's brand new?
California.
California itself is new compared to the other states. It's pretty new.
He said it's cleaned up.
Oh, in San Francisco? Oh, I went to San Francisco. It was fine. I was there by myself twice.
Did you get any rice-a-roni?
No, but I went to Alcatraz once, and that was awesome. It was awesome. I went to a concert.
That's where Coast lives.
That's why I said it.
I meant Alcatraz.
It'd be kind of cool, honestly. It's pretty neat over there. You would love it. You have to take the audio tour. 100%. Go there, and you get the little audio thing with the stuff. And it is fascinating. And you can go real slow and it shows you all the little things. It has like interviews and anyway, so California. We were invited back recently to go for my birthday weekend, but that's not why we were invited.
Yeah, no, it's
but
Day of the Cicada by our buddy
Dave
Bailey. I would love to go, but
I would love to go too.
Hard to.
You know, when I've got independent wealth, I'll be traveling everywhere. So what do you got to do? You got to see it in your mind. You know, you have to see it in your mind. I saw in my mind, I was going to work, and there'll be this like, it's a back road, it's a beautiful back road, but a lot of times there'll be some slow ass old person. They're slow, and I'll pass them later, and they're slow ass old people. So we have this old person and some in between us, and then there's a split, and I'm willing. No one ever goes straight, but I'm willing. I'm like, you're gonna go straight, and I'm imagining in my mind. They went straight.
Well, that reminds us, it's not really about what you're saying, but my friend Chris, his mom would always tell us if we'd ever say something like go straight down this way, or she'd always say, never go straight, go forward. And I never really knew what the hell she's saying, but now when I think about it, I was like, what the hell thing is that to tell the little kid? What kind of weird is that?
Why is that weird?
I think she meant don't be straight.
I don't think that's what she meant. Straight is forward is a momentum. You know, they say that these liberals think way too much about sex. And
they should go like this. So what was after? This is boring. No, it was a good movie. But, so they were like, apparently they were going to show something else, but then they were like, we got a live and we join up. And Dr. Giggles, I was like, oh, cool. I remember Dr. Giggles.
They could lighten it up without having it being 80 degrees in there.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Really hot.
It's like melting into slumber.
Yeah, and I really couldn't take much off. So the Dr. Giggles, I have fond memories of. I went to see it. I always thought, this is a good slasher movie. Watch it now, I'm like, this movie's pretty terrible.
Some of the one-liners are good, but again, this would be something that would be a nice half-hour movie.
Yeah.
This half hour, I'd be like, this Dr. Giggles guy, he's a funny man.
So I have something to say to you folks out there.
Burn out, then fade away. Yeah.
Okay, for you anti-Terrifier people out there. You're like, oh, it's got no story. Do these other movies really? There's a semblance of story here to Dr. Giggles. It's not like some friggin'. It's not like I'm watching Gone with the Wind or The Godfather here. It's fine. And also, if you like these slasher movies, don't you like them for like the interesting kills? A lot of these kills they just cut away. I'd rather see some crazy ass kill. So my point is, if you are a slasher fan, I get if you just don't like the Terrifying movies, but when you're telling me they don't have story, then I watch all these other ones. They don't have a story either. And
she has some good stories.
Yes, I'm not saying all of them, but not majority, but many of them.
Kids went to the woods camping. Oh,
yeah. Are you telling me there's some great plot to Jason Takes Manhattan?
I need to see that. That's in my quest. Maybe I'll see it before Halloween.
There actually is a kind of a
cult following.
Well, I mean, there is like a weird plot to Jason X. Has a good setup, but then after that, it's just like, oh, let's just have him in a hologram in the woods. But and then like you watch him to see these cool kills, and then I watch some of these older ones, and they're fun. But when it's like this guy, someone dies because they get like a needle, like a hypodermic needle, like and they just die in like 1 second. It's not that exciting. Not like someone getting sawed in half.
I think that Terrifier is just their effects are so good. It's so good. that's not a complaint on my part.
No,
I'm just thinking about what are the reasons why. I don't think most people are just saying they don't like it to be a like cool kids club of not liking it. I think people really feel disturbed by it.
Yeah, well, I was on a pod.
So good.
I was on this Rob Saul podcast, and he's a big horror fan, and he doesn't like that the Terrifier movies actually go too far for him. So.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's not his complaint. His complaint is they go too far. I get that. If your complaint is that there's not a story, I'm like, there's not really a story to all these other movies you're saying that I can eat it.
What if the some of them might be saying that if there was a story,
I mean, there is a story.
If there was a story there's a story. It's getting better.
Yeah.
The first one was fine for one story. It wasn't really much of a story.
I thought actually that was a strength of the first one.
You really couldn't have a story at the time.
It was like,
not a big one.
I think the first one, why it really hit with people. Well, honestly, Art the Clown hits with people. He just connects with people. It just does. But the first movie, it's like an 80s slasher where they don't have to worry about the censor, so they don't have to cut away from the kills. They don't worry about the backstory. They're like, fans of these movies really just want to see these cool kids kills and a cool killer, and that's what they gave you. And I actually thought that was a strength of that movie.
Interesting.
You're like, forget it. Why write some dumbass story? No one, boom, this guy shows up and kills you.
Well, I also don't think they expected it to become this.
No, they didn't. But I think that's why. I think that's why can't there's something there. There has to be some reason. I think a lot of it's Art the Clown.
I mean, he's really. I don't know what he's going to do. I know there's only supposed to be. See, I think that there's the 4, the quadrilogy that he wants to have.
See.
I think they'll have spin-offs.
Well, this one made 50 million. They put out 4 and makes 100 million. Like, maybe there's a 5th one. I mean, look. Friday the 13th was supposed to be one movie. The 4th one was supposed to be the final one ever.
Was it the same people that worked on each one?
The same producer. But then there's a 5th one. Then there's a 6th one. But I actually do. If Damien doesn't want that to happen, he's like, I don't want Art the Clown going to space. I don't want Art the Clown taking Manhattan.
I want to see it.
I don't want to see him battling the leprechaun.
I want to see all of those things, and I think the rest of the world who likes art would also like to see.
So I
get in a movie with like, what if it was like Art versus Jason or Art versus? Freddy?
It's weird because I used to think they would do art. Like I always thought like maybe Art versus like Victor Crowley, but these movies are like giant movies now. Where we were at a diner and the woman there like knew Terrifier. So nothing against Victor Crowley, but these are bigger than those. So you could do Art versus Freddy, Jason,
and they're both
Michael
fun.
Myers.
Oh my God, Art versus Freddy would be.
Art versus Freddy would be good too because you'd have the one who can talk and the one who doesn't. But
And I feel like very much like that's something I would just want to see, and it wouldn't matter just to see it. I feel like there's not a lot of times I have that. I just want to see it because it exists, but I would see it because it exists.
David Howard Thornton, though, is
let it go, man.
He's going to be in the Mickey Mouse horror movie.
Is he?
He plays the killer Mickey Mouse.
I want to see him in a serious movie. I think I said that the last time.
You don't think that's going to be serious? The killer.
I mean, I don't.
Dreamboat Willie.
Him to be. I'd like to see him as an actor in a role that is a serious role. I think it'd be really interesting to see him branch out. Not that he would have to not do horror, but I'm very curious.
I know he's pitching to which everyone does, but he's pitching to play the Joker. That probably won't happen. But I would like to see him in something.
Why not? He made millions of dollars. They did better than Joker 2.
True. Well, It is more profitable.
Start,
It's more
yeah.
profitable. It's, Joker 2 made like 200 million, but it's more profitable.
Yeah.
Also didn't have nearly a budget. So what was the next one? So Dr. Giggles, and then it was Butcher.
Dr. Butcher.
Dr. Butcher, MD, and I'm really disappointed that I was just sleepy because this one I was really enjoying, but I kept nodding off. I need to seek this out.
Yeah.
This one really had me laughing. Where
I saw it too. It's so sad.
I liked a lot of the delivery of the actors as a tie-in to the movie.
I recognized one of the actors very early in though. I'm like, sleep. Wait a minute, I know that guy. He's from Full Cheese Zombie movie. He's the British reporter guy.
And just so you guys know, it's not a boring movie. It starts like at 5 a.m. after we're up all day, so it's like it's hard to.
Yeah, and Dr. Giggles was not that great. It's like
pretty dumb,
and it was all pink, and it still was good because everything they have there is on actual film.
Yeah, it's got like weird zombie-looking people and like cannibals and yeah.
So I thought that when we saw the original Zombies watching, I'm like, oh, these are kind of like Full Cheese.
Yeah, even looked like it might have been filmed the same place, to be honest. But
yeah, the tool.
Yeah, I really liked what I saw. So I need to seek this out. I know Frank Farrell is involved, and so is Troy. Is it not Troy? Something from Roy Frunkey is.
Because Farrell's name is not in the opening credits.
No. But I know it's on his banner that he has at conventions.
I want to know. Frank.
Spookies. It's Spookies, Street Trash, and Dr.
I wanted to call out. Because Mark will give the little, like, information. Like, Street Trash. And I want to be, Street Trash 2 is supposed to be really good. And did he say something about the second Street Trash?
I don't think so, but I've heard really good things about it.
I would love. It looks great.
Yeah, Ryan who makes it's a great guy. Had him on the show, and he also played once a featured Smash and Enzo 2 at his festival in South Africa.
Oh wow, cool, very nice.
And I was really excited to see Fried Berry's in it. His name's something Green or Green.
I still haven't seen that. Where do I find Fried Berry?
I don't have to look. I'm not sure. Yeah, I loved it. That was one of Trista's and I's favorite movies of that year. I love it. I love Fried Berry. And from what I understand, this is in the Fried Berry universe. I think he might play the same character.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which
Fried Berry,
Fried Berry, it's like
the Berryverse.
Fried Berry's a movie like what genre is this? I don't know. But it's crazy and I love it. I think you'd like it. I'd be surprised if you did.
It sounds like I would like it, so it'll be nice to see it someday. Yeah. So Pink movie, Dr. Butcher, wish we could both say more.
Yeah, I'm gonna seek it out though. Because I know we're gonna get Frank back on sometime. I think we should. I could help Frank with this because he's. So
you're going to be involved in Armageddon?
Possibly. What was I going to say? So he's. He has a lot of credits that aren't on IMDb. A lot of movies he's involved in. I should help him get those on IMDb.
Yes,
because I know Michael Epstein is helping Michael St. Michael's with his.
Don't let everybody in the world know.
No, I'm just saying because Michael St. Michael's has a lot of credits that he's not credited for.
Yeah, like the Burbs.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
So cool. You could see him at the end too. If you love the Burbs, and I know I do. And if you love Michael St. Michael's, then you should.
Yeah.
There's
a video of us doing
police.
Yeah, there's a video of us doing a little Burbs.
It's pretty ridiculous.
It's great. The cops came and we filmed it.
Yep. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
That was after a midnight movie of the Burbs.
Oh, yeah.
So then, let's see. What do we got after that?
So what do we do? We did the first two. We did the Hammer movie, the other movie. So we got two more.
Well, one of them was Vibes.
Dr. Vibes was next.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. I watched it a million times as a kid. I love Vincent Price, which most anyone with sense does, and that's probably my favorite. I think growing up was my favorite Vincent Price. Now I don't know. I think The Last Man on Earth is moving up there. I really like it too.
It's a really great movie.
Fives is great.
Fives is great. My favorite Vincent Price movie, since you kind of brought it there a little bit, is Theater of Blood is my second favorite. It's very much like Fives, where it's like vengeance, but it's funny. Mm-hmm. It's so clever. It's so funny. Diana Rigg's in it. It's just this beautiful story. It's also got homeless people in it. Do you know it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. Well, not everybody sees every single thing. Tell me what happens.
Well, actually, it's my Killer Chef movies is kind of like inspired by that. So.
How?
Because he goes and gets revenge on people who exist as food.
Okay. Shit, why can't I think of it? I watch it all the time. It's a Roger Corman one. It's based off of Edgar Allan Poe. It's serious, though.
Oh, Mask of Red Death.
Yes! My favorite. Favorite.
Yeah, we saw that at Somerville a few years ago.
Yeah, that was really
cool.
Wild. I would love to see that in the theater again.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, there's a lot of good. But
Vincent Price is the
best. So last week we went to Somerville to see a double feature of Vincent Price movies, House on Haunted Hill, which is fun. Honestly, it's not a really great movie, but it's fun. And then Last Man on Earth, which I love, and watching it again, I was like, oh, it really is very close to the novella. I like all three versions. I really love Last Man on Earth. Really love Omega Man. I Am Legend with Will Smith. The first 45 minutes is good. Then it kind of goes. It's from that era of movies where they're like, just because they could, they would do CG like 1,000 monsters or whatever. Like, there's no really reason.
I think that was that a movie we walked out of where we forced ourselves to stay for that Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt?
Oh, that was World War Z.
Oh God.
Yeah, and that's a great book.
God, it's so bad.
Yeah. But it's too bad.
All those like monsters like crawling up on top of each other.
The first 45 minutes of I Am Legend's really well done.
But basically the same. You've got like this one creature, and then they just duplicate it a bajillion times, and it's so depthless and soulless.
So it's also one of my favorite audiobooks. I Am Legend.
Dr. Fibes.
Yeah, Dr. Fibes is great.
Mr. Fibes. Some person in the audience complained about how Dr. Giggles didn't graduate. He wasn't actually. He didn't get through to be a.
Yeah, he said.
Doctor,
Well, they also said Frankenstein didn't either. Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein.
That was the original complaint. Dr. Frankenstein. Then they said Dr. Giggles didn't either.
So then it became Mr. Giggles.
Right.
And then someone outside later was calling it Mr. Giggles, and I don't think she meant it in a funny way. She just kept calling it Mr. Giggles. It's not Mr. Giggles though.
Five is great. There's some like when they pour he's pouring
that
honey.
That was pretty long too.
Yeah. They're pouring honey. He's pouring all this, drenches this girl in honey while she's sleeping, and throws these crickets down that eats her skin off. But she never wakes up. I mean, she's completely doused in honey or something.
Maybe he put drugs in it to sedate her.
Maybe. I like it.
Sounds.
I like all the deaths are really insane. Based on the, and then when I was also watching the end of that, I'm like, the very end when the guy saving his son from Fives is it's almost like Saw. Saw kind of took a lot. Yeah, it's like a Saw movie, but decades before. So I was like, Saw stole that, and they sold us
gotta dig into your child and get a key out of his.
A lot of stuff's not very original to Saw either, because the whole idea where he gives the guy the hacksaw to cut his leg off.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always think, oh, that's right out of Mad Max, but it's also out of the Watchmen.
Well, they say
I don't know which came first.
New.
Mad Max, I guess, probably came first. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's the same scene, both in all three.
In fairness to them, Arbor Day it does pull from many.
Yeah, well, I know that, but I mean that is like the whole gist of Saw. But that's fine.
So Dr. Five's wonderful story. It's so. I've never seen it in the theater before, and it's beautiful to look at. The colors, the camera shots. Just as soon as I started watching it, was all the things happening. Oh my God! Even when they go into the first victim, you like go into the space, and it's just gorgeous. I'm so glad that print was as good quality as it was. There was like a buzz in the sound. And the audio,
and it was only like at certain points. Yeah. A couple times it was really loud. I think it was when there was no sound in the movie. It was weird. It was just like,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Dr. Five, so I was happy. Technically it's really not a mad scientist movie, but it doesn't matter. It was great.
He's been doing very sciencey things, like coming up with a fucking frog like helmet that just closes down.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, he is very solid.
And he must be very rich.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things you really do have to suspend disbelief, because there's things there that, he'd have to have people helping him.
Yeah.
Or is the woman a robot? Is the woman a woman?
I tried to get her on recently.
Yeah.
She's and I never get a reply. But I think
I know what I've heard this before. I don't know if you all can hear it, but I'm capturing it because I have heard it before.
Also, it made me sad when we were watching the Hammer horror movie. Veronica Carlson. She was booked on the show, but whatever reason didn't happen, but she passed away not too long ago.
Oh.
We should get some more of the Hammer horror girls on them.
I don't know. Mary J. All-Stars. Liquidator. Well, it's pretty sweet.
What was the movie where a guy made a vegetarian eat a rotten steak?
Rotten steak.
I think that's a...
Huh. I need more, Coast. I need more.
It's in a Stephen King, book.
Yeah?
It's either Stephen King or Clive Barker. It's a short story. I mean, it's probably something else too, but I remember reading it not that long ago in a short story. But Bill DeFrance is here too.
Yeah. Interesting.
Nobody tells you no in entertainment. They just don't respond.
Well said. Well said. That's brutal. I'd so much rather just have a no. Like, please no. Please no. But,
so then they closed out the night with a movie that really surprised me, because I always remember I'd seen it when it first came out and always in my mind because everyone talks about being so bad. I'm like, oh, movie stinks, and that's Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah,
90s
it was
one.
A great last piece.
Oh man, this is I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I really like this movie.
I'd never seen it. Maybe a little bit here and there, like clips. Maybe it was on somewhere. Or I did fall asleep or whatever. But had, like you're saying, I've just heard it just being garbage. I actually might have even seen a Siskel and Ebert where they said it was garbage.
Yeah, it's always considered, a rotten movie. And then, there's all kinds of controversy around it with, them outing the director.
Richard Stanley. So what is that? Do you know the story there?
Yeah, so he was the guy who got Brando involved. He went out to like his private island or whatever and talked him into doing it.
How did that even happen? How?
It's in the documentary. You should really watch the documentary.
Goodness. Who made the documentary?
It wasn't him, but he's
in it. Stanley person?
I'm not. I mean, it's pretty neutral.
Is a story.
Yeah, it's pretty neutral. And I don't know how. I think that he had a little bit of buzz, but I think it was just pretty much it. Brando liked the guy for, these are weird.
Because he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's an artist.
And if you watch a documentary, there's like some of the storyboards are
What's
like.
the name of the documentary? Do you know?
Lost Soul, I think. And so some of the storyboards of stuff that they did in film, like it was, it's a weird movie anyway, but it was going to be much weirder.
I want to note, I forgot to write it down. I would put it in my notes, is that Richard Stanley really likes llamas. Because they were in this movie for no particular reason. Could have picked anything, but I like lots of llamas. Yeah. And then in Color from Outer Space, llamas. That's very random. Yeah. That's very random. So Richard Stanley. Yeah, I like Richard Stanley. I know that's kind of controversial to say right now, but I like Richard Stanley. And really cool interview with Richard Stanley. There's two of them on the website. One's only short because it was a press day thing, but the other one's very long. And I really regret not. He was on video, but I didn't know how to record video at the time. And he was in his castle in the middle of the night in France. And so he doesn't have electricity, does it? No, so he just sit. Well, he must have because he was on the computer, I guess. He had a little generator, I guess. And he had his big hat on, and he was smoking whatever. But it was a big one. Yeah, but he's smoking like it wasn't tobacco. I don't believe. I don't know if he's ever sober. It was pretty. It was he seems very out there, man. And he talked about he talked about Harvey Weinstein before I was out there. It was really, what did he say? So he was like, he said, this will come out eventually, but Harvey Weinstein. And he's like, he's a monster. And he did all these things. And he told a specific story after he made the movie Hardware. And the actress in that, they were at Cannes. And she called him up and said, Harvey's at my door wanting to come in and saying, if I don't let him in at her hotel room, that I'll never work in Hollywood again. Oh my God. And she didn't let him in, and she never worked again. What the fuck? And he was saying all these stories out there of him, and he said eventually come out, and it was like a year, maybe a couple of years later. Wow. I didn't know what to make of the time. And a couple of years later, all that stuff came out, but he talked really openly about it. And that was kind of some of the stuff that led him to leave, and Hollywood is not a good place. It's very interesting, considering the Richard Stanley skills. Yeah, that's why I always kind of. Yeah. The information is being gathered. My jury is out on Mr. Stanley, but that did pull me a little bit in the direction. So the movie gets taken away. Who's the girl who plays the daughter in the movie? Frozen Bulk. Yeah, she's really pro Richard Stanley in the documentary. She's like crying, talking about it. They like took the movie away from him and stuff. Aww. And she's so beautiful. And so he stays on the while they're making. And he's like, and he gets, because it's pre-CG, so it's really all these people dressed as beasts and stuff. And so he'd get the people to dress him up, and he'd be around on set, which I think is he would neat. Get them to do it, or he would speak. I thought know. He snuck. Maybe he just snuck in. Yeah, he snuck. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. He snuck. But it's really really sad. He was just creepily this is like starting around. But I would probably too if it was my movie. Yeah. And I had Marlon Brando in it and all these other named people, and they're like, nope. So, what did he do that they? Well, I think it was just like Brando was being but honestly, Val Kilmer is supposed to be really hard to deal with, and Brando. But I think I personally watching it now, I'm like, I think Brando was legit trying to make it an interesting movie because he's the guy's like he wants to paint himself white. I love it. Yeah, he wants these weird hats. This his idea to have the ice. And I'm thinking now that I watch him, like I think he was right. He wanted to make this weird character. Brilliant. He wasn't just trying to be a weirdo to sabotage a movie. Well, the 90s were a stupid time, full of stupid. I hate Brando. I love Brando in this movie. I thought Brando was amazing. Yeah, and that ice bucket thing, at first it just looks like he's just got some insane metal hat with like a woven thing. Yeah. And I noticed also, because it's like bending over one of his ears and the other one's up. And I was thinking, why did they fix that? And then I thought, it's on purpose. The guy does everything. He's very strategic. I think he did it on purpose because his character would be so oblivious.
Too on that too. So.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would just be a character that person would be so oblivious they wouldn't even realize. Where a normal person would be like, oh, my ears. Yeah. I think everything he did was masterful, and I really enjoyed it. Just watching how naturally he delivered everything, and he was kind of like an old lady. The way his behavior was. Yeah. Like when Farouz's character sat on his lap, and there's not a vibe, in my mind, not a vibe of creepiness.
No.
He was like this.
It's very,
Oh.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my goodness. Her big grandma, except it's a big Marlon Brando.
Yeah, I really like the creatures look cool. I don't know. I really liked everything about it.
First, where I was like, the Stan Winston did the stuff, but then the hyena one, I was like, not really. I don't know about that. Looks a little bit dopey. But then, as they go through the movie, and there's the serum that they're supposed to take every day, so they don't further become animals, because they're this background of the story. Marlon Brando, 17 years ago, went to this island to do experiments with animals and people, trying to make perfect people, or whatever, the better, stronger, harder, faster, longer, stronger people. And so there's just this island full of experiment beings, and they have to get injected, I don't know, daily, weekly, whatever it is. They have to get injected regularly to keep it so that they don't continue to become more animalistic. So at one point, that's done. This one character who's a hyena,
he's just called hyena, though I thought was kind of weird. Yeah.
And so his face does end up changing, and then it does get much darker. Instead of being kind of like this, and now I realize that they did it on purpose, is that in the beginning, when he's docile and kind of cowering and pitiful, and his face is really dopey looking. And then as it progresses and he becomes more aggressive and wants to be the new god, he's very much like if you had like an Egyptian god or goddess with an animal head.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or even, I don't remember where they had that filmed out of, but yeah, it seemed like it was like an ancient god that would have a creature head. And the hyena would have been, hyena, I'm not sure if there's a hyena god, but probably, because someone who writes in this depth probably did choose it for a reason. Yeah. I'm curious. I'm going to look up hyena god.
I love the little person who plays,
yes,
his son, or kind of his sidekick. Great. He looks really cool, and I think it's a really good performance, honestly, without talking or anything. And there was a little bit in the movie. I thought it was going actually a little different way. Who the guy was, but it was. My only complaint is I thought Val Kilmer near the end's not particularly good when he starts trying to act like Brando's character.
Tell me more.
When he starts he's wearing the pillow.
I know what you're talking about, but tell them more.
Oh, so after it's a spoiler movie, but it's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Brando's character gets killed, and then Val Kilmer's character is trying to take over as the leader, and then so he starts donning the white makeup and the white clothes, and I think that's not so bad. But when he really starts to talk like Brando talks in the movie, I don't know. It's just I don't think that part worked.
I was fine with it. I think he was captive there as well. He couldn't leave. No one could leave. Yeah, and that was something that came up. No one can leave,
which I kind of like. They don't go too far into why he's there. They say he contacted. We still don't know exactly why. Val Kilmer's character was out there.
I mean, I feel like
they say he was like a genius scientist too, and now he's just like almost like the prison guard in a way.
He probably does a little bit of everything, but he was also, no one can leave the island, and Val Kilmer doesn't admit that in the beginning, but it's very clear as the story progresses, because he said it, and I think when he said it, people as an audience, you think he just means them, but he means everyone.
I thought at first that the guy was actually created, which I thought would have been interesting. I thought he was going to find out he was created.
Who?
The guy that's washed ashore.
Oh.
Which I thought would have been interesting, but he's not. But
So I like the Val Kilmer part. I think him kind of losing his mind. You know, once Marlon Brando's character's gone, you know the whole place is going to hell. Like, it's going to devolve. If you were there however long, I know he was 10 years, I think he was there. If you were on that island for 10 years and constantly aware every single day.
The one guy almost loses his mind the first night. So.
Yeah. So I can only imagine being under the
I kept thinking
this insane man.
The sayer of the law. The sayer of the law. I was like, I think that's Ron Perlman.
Watch out!
Oh, I was like, I think. Yeah. That's like, oh yeah, that's cool. But no, I liked it a lot. It makes me go. I know I always liked the '70s one. I don't think I've ever seen the Lawton one from the '30s. Island of Lost Souls. So I'll have to Island of Lost Souls. I have to check that out too. Be interesting to see all three versions.
That would be a nice little triple feature.
Yeah. I know the '70s one's really good with the House of Pain.
Why don't they have triple features? There's a lot of good trilogies. There should be triple features.
Yeah, Last Man on Earth, Omega Man, and I Am Legend, Island of Lost Souls, and the two Island of Dr. Moreau. That'd be cool.
Creep Show 1, 2, and 3. That's a good.
You can stop after Creep Show 2.
I don't even like the second one really.
I don't either. It's
one that's the oil slick in the water.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I like that one, and I like. Thanks for the ride.
Thanks for the ride. That's too long.
The other one, I always liked Chief Woodhead as a kid, but I watch it now. I'm like, it's this really long setup.
Yeah.
And then he just goes and kills people like in a second. And I'm like, and it's so obvious where it's going.
Yeah. He was nice. Was that Dan Kamen?
Yeah, he's really good.
I'm terrible with names, and I remember his name.
Yeah,
Dan was very
the Native American guy with the real long hair. He's did you ever watch a show about the guys who what's it called? Mine Hunters? It's great. Yeah. He's the older guy in that.
Shut up!
Yeah, he's the guy with the long hair who's like, I'm gonna go to Hollywood. Yeah, I do too. I wish I would come back for the
show.
The third
season. If anybody's not seen Mine Hunters, you're gonna like it. I can't imagine anybody that would ever watch us could not like Mine Hunters. Is that a Netflix show?
Yeah.
So good. They had 2 seasons. It was headed in a direction. It was kind of like Terrifier, where the first season like had a certain level, and then the next one it like really bumped it up because it brought more world things into it, and then it was just like ready for season 3 to happen. And
honestly, I think the whole show is great, but I think it's the best job I've ever seen in a show like that to capture the look of the actual serial killers. Because either like
and just the presence.
Yeah, either they do it in a way where they try. I don't want to say try too hard, but like you could just tell like they have like weird prosthetics and it doesn't look too great. I would prefer if they, in a way, just get someone who doesn't necessarily look like them. You know what I mean? But this show, like the people look just like him. And, it's great. And it's not just that though. It's all around great show. So it's really disappointing it didn't come back for the third season. I guess it costs a lot of money.
Compared to what? Compared to what? What are they doing that's so expensive?
Well, the directors are big directors.
Well, Jesus Christ, man. What is he waiting for? All these people are going to be dead. Just come back. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of it.
Because...
Yeah, but that actor, I didn't know it for a long time, but it's the same guy. It's pretty odd.
I wish my hair was really like this.
It kind of looks like the guy that I was talking about in Chief Woodhead. He's like, I'm going to go to Hollywood.
But my hair isn't like that, so I can't go.
I grew my hair up for Steve.
This is nice and thick. So it's got weight. That's nice.
So it was a really good time.
Yeah. So what else is going on? What's happening in the world of Without Your Head?
So
upcoming guests.
This week is Halloween, so I'm not sure what exactly is happening. But we'll put up something. And so the first week of November will be Anastasia Elfman. That'll be very cool.
Oh, maybe we will be on Wednesday.
Yeah,
maybe. Because I'll tell you why. So if you are watching this and it's the week of October 2024 of Halloween week, we usually do the show every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to withoutyourhead.com and find all of the things. YouTube is the best place to watch if you do join us on the podcast because it's a great chat to the side where we can see it. Other people can interact with each other. That's usually the best place to go if you want to interact with us.
I see Coast is back. Coast was naughty, and he was kicked off YouTube. And he's back. So behave, Coast.
Yeah, it's nice to have you here.
He's rocking out with the I don't know what he was doing, but behave.
Oh my goodness! There's a bowling pin hiding out up there.
Oh yeah, that's kind of weird.
Not fit with anything in here at all. Yes, Thursday nights 8 p.m. EST. We have got lovely guests, as usually 2 per show, and they're indie people, they're classic people, they're all kinds of people involved in the indie horror world.
So we have Anastasia Elfman coming up. We have Jill Six coming up.
Cool.
We have Izzy Lee coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And we have Brian Spears and Jeremy Sullenfred they did the effects in Smile 2.
Cool. Very cool.
They'll be on the 21st.
Of November.
Yeah. We had to get special okay from the studio for them to come on. And Jeremy Sullenfred put in a good word for us. And so
The cereal?
No, we had to get special okay. We had to get permission.
Not special K, the cereal.
No, we had to get permission. We had to get special permission.
Really?
Yeah. Because this is a big time movie.
It's true. And they're going to be on the night show?
They're going to be on the 21st. Yeah, they're going to be on live.
I feel very excited. I'm not usually able to join on those giant ones because they're all these like 5-minute.
Yeah, so we had Brian Spears on before recently, and we've had Jeremy on a few times, but I don't think anytime you've been on. So that'd be cool. He's very cool.
Very good. Very good.
He's given some advice on intestines, along with Julie Happy.
Yeah. So, what's happening? Got that.
Halloween contest. So get those in this week. Take pictures of you in your Halloween costume. The winner will receive a personalized 8-bit sprite of you in your Halloween costume. I think that's a really fun prize.
That's pretty sweet. And if you don't know what a sprite is, imagine Mega Man, little 8-bit graphics. They're very cute. Yeah. So if Sprite doesn't sell you, Mega Man.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Bubba.
Mega Manified. Hey, Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba, one of our buddies here in the chat. So join the group. Follow. So the big parts are YouTube. We get the live interaction here. Also, please leave comments and like all the videos. Bubba does. He's a good man and coach. And for interaction throughout the week with everybody, Facebook and Instagram are really the 2 main ones.
Mm-hmm. Instagram, finally, Neal's catching on here.
Yeah, also TikTok. Some of the TikTok videos have a lot of views. Mm-hmm. So to try to get the views, because I don't promote it a lot, but they get a lot of views on there, but it's not a lot of followers. So follow us on the TikTok. Although I do know some friends aren't on TikTok. And I guess you can't watch TikTok if you don't have a TikTok account.
I got a big fat mama trying to break me. It's such a good song. So pleasantly live this life of luxury, blazing on a sunny afternoon.
So this is Steve Sawinski.
What's your last name?
Sawinski. I like alliteration. So we got Steve
Sawinski. What is that name?
Sawinski.
Yeah, tell me about this name. Why
Polish
Sawinski?
name. I like it.
Just because? No, nothing.
It's kind of inspired by my buddy Robert Budzinski.
Oh, wow. Wild. Isn't that your son?
No.
No?
He's a good guy, though. I like
Not
Robert
your son?
Budzinski.
Who's your son?
I don't know. No.
I thought you had a son on your other show.
Oh, that's Walkie. But Dobbs is my young boy.
That's the one.
Jason used to be my young boy.
I guess Jason has a show.
Oh,
quite successful. Yes.
Oh, where people eat stuff?
Yeah, I guess it's quite successful. So congratulations to Jason Minton.
Yeah.
Of Without Your Head, originally. He has something out there. I don't know what it's called.
I think it's called Appalachian Eats.
Nice. So check out Jason. I want to. I haven't yet. I need to. It sounds pretty good.
He did that for years, and then he took a break from it
for
a while. Yeah.
Really? I did not know that. Cool. I got a big fat mama.
He was at Screamfest recently.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And
Nice.
his buddy was wearing Without Your Head shirt, and Jason was wearing I Hate Without Your Head shirt.
Well, friends, I would love to stay and talk more, but I think we ran out of.
Yeah, we're down to 35% too.
Oh, okay. So lovely to be here. Wishing everybody happy Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we'll see you this week. There's some things to work out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
For scheduling. So
I know some folks want to come on for the Mad Scientist. We've got Aaron Baracus. We have Justin Beheading. Todd maybe live, maybe via satellite, and Todd Yeager and Diablo Joe.
Nice.
So that'll be cool. I have to ask Elaine.
Yeah. It looks great.
Yeah.
Let's see it again. Yeah, so I better get that list together because I do not have one made.
Justin has a list of every type of movie. He just pulls it right out of his drawer.
So this is going to be our list of what?
Mad scientists / demented doctors.
I feel like we're at a great advantage here.
Yeah, we just saw a bunch. It'll just be at least 6
Greatly
movies.
advantaged.
Dr. Giggles.
There are many doctors. Now, these are not necessarily the headlining doctors. These can be any doctor character. Like, what if I was going to pick, let's say, this is very random.
The character or the movie?
The character.
The character, all right.
Because I think the character could really give you a lot of opportunities.
It could be, some doctor from it could be like the professor from Gilligan's Island.
Well, I was thinking, the one that came to mind was Dr. Van Helsing from Dracula.
All right,
Bram Stoker's Dracula, Anthony Hopkins.
All right, Professor Plum.
At the time, I thought was very good, but when I went back, I'm like, man, Anthony Hopkins really hands this up.
Yeah, that movie's not good, but
Gary Oldman is good. Gary Oldman is amazing, and it's beautiful, but there's some there's a Dr. Jack. He's great. Actually, Carrie Elways is also great. There's a lot of people that are great, except for many of the main characters.
So weird. The
one who plays Lucy is great. I don't like her, but she's great. She's good at doing it.
I would disagree on that.
Why? That she's good at playing the role? Why?
I don't think she's particularly good in the movie. And
I don't care, but I think she's good at doing what she's doing.
The one guy, Keanu Reeves, is terrible.
Beautiful.
That was that beginning. I really like. It's probably my favorite part is the beginning, except for Keanu Reeves. But I think the Dracula in the castle is really cool. But it's so weird. You got Gary Oldman with Keanu Reeves at his worst. This is this really contrast in acting abilities.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not a fan of the movie. I tried to give it another shot. I watched it recently.
It's got an amazing score. I wish I could pronounce his name. It's like Wojak Killer. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's an amazing score. Amazing, incredibly powerful, dramatic, beautiful, haunting. Yeah. So there's so many doctors out there. I really don't think we should limit it to just main doctors. But there should be horror movie doctors, right?
Yeah.
Not. I mean, even when I was a kid, my favorite character on Gilligan's Island was the doctor. Got a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I dated scientists, but no one who was a doctor.
Yeah, horror. It should. I mean, we do a horror movie show, so.
When you said Professor Plum.
Yeah, just being goofy.
Yeah, but sometimes you do goofy stuff. Not just say it, you actually do it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just sit here with the fucking mullet. But
there's nothing wrong with a mullet.
No, it's
more
back.
The headband and the whole everything.
I kind of like the no mustache in these old pictures, but I think Steve needs a mustache. You gotta keep it for now.
Yeah.
Also, since I stopped using the Just for Men, it looks kind of blonde.
Because it's white.
I don't know. Then when for a little while, I was it doesn't matter. I was doing I was eating
Neal's beard.
Well, no, I started doing now I'm doing a different protein type. I was doing I forget the protein, but it's supposed to be good for your skin and beard, or not beard.
Your skin and your ears?
Your skin and your hair and nails and stuff.
Your skin and your
collagen. And then my beard started getting darker.
Yeah, collagen, they say, is really good for you. It just freaks me out because I imagine them like scraping off the bones.
Yeah.
Inside the cheeks and all that. Kind of.
You like head cheese? My brother makes good head cheese.
Exactly. Just eat some head cheese, man. Yeah, they say collagen's very good for you. Maybe I should to try to retain my youthful glow. Oh, we should have gotten the picture with the woman at Victoria.
Yeah.
We have a waitress. I don't remember her name. I'm sure she doesn't remember mine. Sure as hell doesn't remember Neal's.
Yeah, she's like, that's Neal.
Yeah. You're in because I'm there. But I was living in Southie before I met Neal, and I was going
to This was the nicest she's ever been to me. Not that she's ever mean to me, but she did.
But yeah, she's retiring. I'm really excited. We need a picture with her. That's off the point. You guys don't even know who the hell I'm talking about. So,
all right, out here.
Do you want to make any more sales on the movie?
Arbor
What's
Day.
What's it going to be about?
Arbor Day. It's about Steve and his buddies, and they find the secret of Arbor Day. What is Arbor Day? You'll find out. It's led by this person over here, the Cult of Arbor, led by Lunadette Speed. We announced this week the voice. I didn't say what the name is yet, but the voice of the demon tree in the movie is Tim Dry, a return of the Jedi, an extra,
and a lot of other cool indie stuff.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Neal and Troy met him a million. And a photographer. He's an artist. I think they call someone like that a polymath, don't they?
Yeah, I met him at our first. It was first convention we went to, Days of the Dead. Their first Days of the Dead, and we were there as the official podcast dudes before they fucked us over. But so we were there, and
they suck.
And it was, I think, a really cool. That's the first time I met John Dugan, met Tim Dry.
So we got Tim Dry.
Bill Moseley.
Bill Moseley will not be in the movie that we're over. Right?
But I just, it's cool. It's cool. It was a cool.
Yeah.
Looking back, it's a cool show because I met a lot of people that I'm friends with the show today.
Yes. So we got Tim Dry. We've got him as the evil tree.
Yeah.
We've got Paul Ehlers. I don't think we announced his role.
No, we didn't know.
We maybe announced Ed Gwynn.
Ed Gwynn.
What's Ed Gwynn? Does he say?
Peter Bill.
I love that name.
As a tree hunter.
Someone didn't like that name.
The next show, we'll be announcing not only another voice actor, but we'll be announcing a character that's not been announced yet.
That's exciting. Which one? Indicate to me.
Somebody that you drew.
I've drawn a lot of people.
Well, one that you've done the main artwork for.
Oh, that person.
Mm-hmm.
The person.
The voice. It's a good character. It's not an evil character.
I'm struggling. I don't know why. The voice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's why I was confused because I drew the character and I'm trying to. Now I know why.
So this person's been really wanting to mention the character
really
they're playing.
Exciting.
So this is very cool. They're very excited. We're very excited.
I've been able to do some really great art. I'm very, very excited about this. It's going to be a really great big deal for us and really very excited for all the people that are joining in, whether they're stars or cast, crew.
This has some people that we have not announced yet. So you can look. So you can.
I'm blind.
Yeah, if you look at it, you'll find out. But some of them we're gonna wait. So these are a little bit of spoilers, but it's fine.
Yeah, but
because you're watching on the show. I know that. So you're going to know ahead of time before anyone who's not watching this.
Say for this one?
Well, no, I think we'll wait. Well, okay, we can say we got. So the New England filmmakers, me, Troy, and Annabelle, and then we have Cape Cod Boston cast: Joe Niebala, Andrew Savory, Brian Ray, and Jim McDonough, and then the cast of Legends of the Film. We'll say them here on the show. So if you're watching right now, you're going to get a sneak peek. Tim Dry from Return of the Jedi, Dan Yeager, Texas Chainsaw 3D. Now, all these people are from different things, but, I don't have room to put their whole career here. Helene Udy from My Bloody Valentine, Paul Ellers from Mad Men, Ed Gwynn, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Bill Whedon, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, and Michael St. Michael's The Greasy Strangler. There's actually a lot more people.
There will be a lot.
But I can't put everyone on the card.
Nope.
But we'll do
and they're
more
not revealed at all.
Yeah.
So there will be other wonderful people joining in.
And this is in another movie of mine, this poster, which is kind of fun.
Yes. But Arbor Day.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great time. It's going to be.
It pops up. So.
I know you like to talk about yourself.
No, I mean, it's cool. It's Troy's in. It's nice.
I know. Arbor Day.
Yeah.
Arbor Day, man. Arbor Day.
We sought out a cult favorite that has not done a movie in 50 years. We brought him back.
Which one's that?
Wait and see.
Do I know?
Yeah, they haven't done a movie since End Zone 2 in 1970.
That's right. I forgot you landed that. Amazing. I'm really excited about that because I haven't met them before.
Uh-huh.
So it would be pretty cool. Because that person, I think, is actually going to travel to be with us, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I hope they're not as weird as people said that he is.
Trista's a big fan. Trista Robinson.
Yeah? Maybe he's like the Harvey Weinstein. Convinced her.
Jeez. All right. Well.
So wait, no. So okay. So not Harvey Weinstein.
No. These really cool patches are going to be perks too. They're pretty amazing. I'm afraid of no trees.
Troy Jones.
Yeah. It's funny because I was like, Troy, I have this idea, and bam, he just did it right away.
So here's what it's about. It's about Steve and his group of young friends, young and old. And they're just a bunch of dudes, and they're hanging out, and they game together, and just goobers hanging around, and they discover that there is a tree cult, an evil tree cult.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do not get involved, they kind of have to be involved because things are revealed where Steve becomes he is clearly at the center of this story, not just the story of his group of friends.
This is more
not
than
just the community story. The story of not just the world,
good,
beyond
evil,
the world. Interdimensional.
Humanity itself.
Did you put interdimensional on it? I put it on when I wrote up the Kickstarter crowdfunding. It's not a Kickstarter. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Okay,
no, it's Indiegogo.
Interdimensional.
Interdimensional.
Interdimensional, planetary, interdimensional. YouTube's gonna bust us for that one.
Boom! Yeah, picked it right up. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here, but it's been a great time.
It's been a great time.
Our annual event.
Yes, indeed.
We got a movie in the mix. This is crazy.
They're not with me.
12 years ago.
12 years ago?
Was when I first brought up Arbor Day. I checked the messages.
Get out. No shit.
2012. That's the
nuts.
Now
12 plus 12.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. 12 and 12. Magical 12.
A lot of my buddies are excited, which keeps me excited. So I was talking to Julie a little bit while you were getting ready to do this.
Cool.
Talked to somebody else who will announce this week. So yeah, it'll be good.
Keep on track with this, and it really is an awesome experience to be doing this. And part of the excitement is engaging with y'all and having you come share with us your thoughts about it going forward, and just being, because this community, like for me, I got involved in this way after Neal started doing the whole thing, and the huge. I'm not making any money. What I like is, of course, the company of my friend Neal, but also the company of all of you. The community is what makes this as good as it is, because we could just sit around and watch movies, and that would be fine. Mm-hmm. But really meeting people, engaging with y'all is wonderful. And when we get that feedback from you and the interaction, it really is excellent. It's like having a big giant horror family.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Or without your head.
The other week we took video calls. That was really fun too. So we can't do that all the time.
We will not do that
because we usually have a couple of guests, but
that would be exhausting.
Yeah, on weeks we either don't have a guest, or maybe if we have one guest and they're not on a lot of time, we'll do that. But always come and interact with the chat. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, watch us, love us, meet us, but don't creep on us. Well, Neal might want you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm into that. No, I don't want to put that up there. All right, we're gonna head out. It's been a good time. This is Nasty Neal, Steve.
What are you gonna be if you're not Nasty Neal? What are you, Steve?
Just Steve.
You're not gonna be like.
No, I think just Steve. I think Steve just speaks for himself. I like the idea of just Steve.
You haven't done anything with your glasses.
I've done it several times actually.
Oh, you have? All right. Yeah. I'm trying to not pay attention to you as much as possible.
I actually kind of want to do it every scene. It's every scene either to this or I just like to do this.
Too much. Every scene. I won't want to watch the movie if you do that every scene. Every scene. Damn.
So it's going to be a good time. All right. So this is Steve. I like the idea of Steve because I'm inspired by one of my favorite movies, Incredible Melting Man, because he's this man who's just melting away for whatever reason. He just has to eat people because he's melting away. And he's very slow, and his eyes are falling out. But instead of calling him like the melting man or holy crap, it's Igar the melting man. They're just like Steve, and I just think
his name is Steve. Scientist awesome. Steve.
That's true. That's going on my. I gotta remember that. That's a good point.
Scientist Steve.
Yeah, Steve. So Steve is great.
And guess where we saw that?
Yeah.
Or movie marathon.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I just think the name Steve makes me laugh. So every movie I think of just says a guy named Steve in it. But this is the number one Steve.
The number one Steve. The all-time top of the heap Steve.
Right.
And this is Lunadette Swede. She sounds an awful lot like Steve.
It's two sides of the same coin. All right. We'll be back. Check us out, withoutyourhead.com. We are. Whoops, I don't think that worked.